So to sync up your controller, you're going to want to turn it on by holding down the record button at the top here, and then hold down your code button on your motor. It will go green, and then when you're going to hold down all three buttons on your controller, and you're ready to go. So when you're connecting your rocker controller, it is exactly the same as connecting the finger wheel. You hold down the code button on your motor until it goes green. You hold down all three buttons, and then you're connected and good to go. Obviously, if you're just starting for the first time, you're going to need to do an auto calibration, and it's just as easy as holding down the A and record button together for 3 seconds. The mini finger wheel controller comes with 7 built-in functions. To access them, it's a simple matter of pressing A and B together, and that'll bring up your LED menu. And your list of functions just here. You scroll through them by pressing B to go forward and A to go backwards. So naturally, we'll start with function 1. To access it, you hit the record button there. This accesses your speed controls and how fast you'd like your motor to move your lens. So let's just set it up to go down to 5 for now. Then press record to set it. So 1 is your slowest speed and the 15 is the highest. So we're just going to set it a couple of points here. So this will be our point A by holding down the A button. And it will flash to indicate that that's been set. And then we'll make this our point B. And that's just to show you how fast it will move if you change your speed settings. So we'll go back to point A from point B. So you can see it's relatively slow, but we can obviously set it to be higher by going back into the menu. Let's go up to 10. You can see immediately it's a lot faster. So back to the function menu. Holding down A and B, we'll go to function 2 here. Number 2 is exactly the same as holding down A and the record button. It's your automatic lens recalibration, and it'll just reset everything for you on your lens and motor. So moving on to function 3 on your remote, this is your manual lens mapping. So you're able to set the maximum and minimum point on your lenses. So the first thing you want to do is set up a beginning point. So I'm going to start with B first by holding down the B button. That's going to start moving the lens, and we're going to stop it at, say, 3 feet. So I've overshot it there. So what I'm going to do is move it back a little by tapping the A button. And then I hit the record button, and that's set. So set 2, hold down A, it's going to move it back, and we're going to stop it just about at the infinity point of the lens. Just move it back a little, and we're going to hit the record button again. That's where your 2 points are going to be set. So now, when you move, you're going to move between just these 2 points. Function 4 is your exit button to exit the menu. You'll just exit the menu without any changes. So in a lot of circumstances on set, you might not have the full range of mobility with your finger, and you might just want to move it between a certain point. So that's where function 5 comes in. Function 5 allows you to basically allocate the full range of your lens and the finger wheel onto a small section of the finger wheel itself. So you hit into function 5, you're going to set your first point, and I'm going to set it just here. And I'm going to set my second point by using these little markers we have on the controller itself here. Now all I need to do is just very gently move between the two, and I have full range of motion between these two here. So the great thing about this function is it's not just between these two areas, both above and beyond. So if you go past your beginning point, you're not going to get any movement from your lens. And if you go past your ending point, same thing, your lens won't move. So the great thing is that you can use this in conjunction with function 3, and you can obviously set it up with your manual setup of your lens, and you can have it in just this portion here or this portion here. So I'll go back to my function 3, and I'm going to push A and set that out as 0.1. And point B there. And again, your full range of motion is still dedicated from your function 5 setup, but it's only between the 2 points you've just set up in function 3. And again, as soon as you go off the end there, there's no movement, and the same with the other end. So head back into your function menu, hold down the A and B button again, and we're going to go down to function 6. Now, function 6 is extraordinarily useful as it reverses the direction of the finger wheel itself. This is particularly useful because a lot of people prefer to use the controller upside down. So the reason you would reverse the direction of your finger wheel is that you can use it upside down. So now you can see that I've reversed the direction of the finger wheel and it's going in the opposing direction to the motor. So I'm going to change it back now and go back into the function menu and changing it back to the original. There we go. So there's also a way you can reverse the motor direction itself. But just in case you're using the top rods on your camera, you want to motor upside down for any reason, you need to press the code button once on the side and it will recalibrate and find its pointing. The main difference between function 6 and the motor reversing option is that by just doing function 6, you're not reversing the motor itself, just the finger wheel direction. That would be just for your preference of the way you're holding your controller itself. So function 7 on the menu, again A and B together. Function 7, it just flips the LED display on your controller. By pressing B, just in case, as mentioned before, you want to prefer to use your controller upside down if that's what you like, you just hit the record button to confirm. It doesn't actually move anything in the motor, finger wheel or otherwise, it solely flips the LED display for your viewing comfort. Function 8, and what it actually does is it chooses between speed priority mode and smoothness priority mode. So by pressing A and B and scrolling down to function 8, you'll be first presented with a flashing number. So at the moment I've got it on number 2, which is our fast priority. Pressing B will get you to number 1, which is our smooth priority mode. And it's just as simple as jumping between the two. So we'll stick with the fast for now. As you can see, even moving at a slow speed with my hand, the motor is moving swiftly. Now I'll switch it over to smooth priority mode, back down to function 8, move it to number 1, hit the button, and there. Now I'm going to move it very slowly so you can see the smoothness in comparison to the speed. So one of the extraordinarily useful accessories you can buy as an additional for your follow focus kit is our Sony recording stop-start trigger, and it has 2 cords, one that plugs straight into your camera and one that plugs into your motor. I'll plug the camera in first, and then I'll take the other cable and it'll go straight into the motor, right into the little port. So once you've turned your camera, you'll see the light on the recording trigger will respond by turning green. Once you've hit that button, it will turn to red, which means you're now recording on your camera. Press it again, and your recording will stop. Our indicator disc, which just slides on nice and easily to the bottom. It also comes with a full-size focus knob as well. Just for the extra added security, you also have one of these little screws. You can just screw straight into the bottom. And it's exactly like using a full-size controller option, but with a smaller controller. And lastly, it comes with these 3 brackets as well. It does anything between 15 and 19 millimeters, and we have our 2 extended brackets here. They go between 15 and 27 millimeters as well. There's 3 different mounting options on the controller itself, on the back here, and then on the side, on both, just depending on where you might want to be mounting it and what kind of system or rig you might be using. The standard rod holder, you can just put it on the side here at any angle. You can see there are options on the side here as well. So the difference between these 2 extended brackets, this one here with the blue dial, you need to access the screws here with an actual Allen key, but there is an easier one to use here where you can just use your hands to screw these ones on the top here. When you've got your hand on the handle, you can just use your thumb, or you can use your full hand whilst you're working. Okay, now you can see I've connected my stop-start recording trigger. There's the end plugged into the motor and into the camera. And on here you can see the light is green, so it's ready to go. So I can now control the recording from the finger wheel controller as well, just by pressing the record button. And then again, to stop.